Hey, this is Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and today I'm going to save you a bunch of time. I'm going to fill you in on what I learned during the Harley-Davidson 2021 virtual launch event today, and I'm going to tell you about 5 things Harley-Davidson did not bother to mention during the event. For example, what models are canceled for 2021, and there's more. Look, I get as a big corporation, Harley-Davidson doesn't want to say anything negative, so they feel they should just skip over certain things that might be viewed negatively, like it doesn't exist. But let's be real here. We the consumers want to know what models are canceled, why you went back to a cable clutch, why the Iron 883 was the only bike to see a price increase, yet it has no noticeable changes to the bike, why the Special saw a price reduction. The reality is someone like me is going to say these things, and we're going to speculate on it and put our opinion on it. Wouldn't it be better if the Harley-Davidson Motor Company just addressed it and put it out there with whatever spin they want on it? I mean, I watched this 40-minute puff piece today trying to sell me on the brand and the lifestyle. They spent more time talking about that stuff than they did the actual motorcycles. They choose to start off by talking about the CVO bikes, but instead, I'm going to start off by telling you what they didn't. First, no street models are listed on the website for 2021 at all now. But the Street 500 was not really discontinued from what I can tell, because it wasn't even listed on the 2020 site, even though it was still officially a model. It's basically just a training bike anyway. It's such a bad bike, they're hiding it on the website. The Street 750 and the Street Rod are gone. I'm not surprised because these bikes have not been particularly popular. And the 2021 Harley-Davidson Roadster has been killed from the Sportster line. This info was leaked a while back along with some other cruisers being discontinued in an article from motorcycle.com. That article predicted the Deluxe, the Breakout, the Lowrider, the FXDR, and the Street Wob were all going to be discontinued. Now the info was based on some updates Harley-Davidson made to the website. Turns out the Street Bob is getting an upgrade to the 114, so now it's called the Street Bob 114, much like Harley's done with the Fat Bob and the Fat Boy already. Second is pricing. Harley did not touch on the pricing during the presentation, but I think they should have. Before the launch, I put all the 2020 pricing into a spreadsheet, and after the launch, the price stayed the same on all the bikes except for 3. The Iron 883 got a $500 price increase for no apparent reason. Everything else stayed the same except for the Specials, which dropped in price. Yes, you heard me right. No price increase and a drop of $600 in the Specials. At first, I thought maybe the price cut was related to this cable clutch deal instead of a hydraulic clutch. But the other touring models that now have cable clutch did not get a price cut. So I'm not really sure why the Specials are cheaper this year, unless they were just raping people on the Specials before and someone decided to put a stop to it. Third is this cable clutch deal. If you've not heard, Harley-Davidson went back to a cable clutch instead of using a hydraulic clutch. The official word from Harley-Davidson is they made the change because they listened to their consumers who had complained and said the feel of a cable clutch was better than that of the hydraulic. Now this might be the case, but since when does HD listen to their consumers and make changes based on what we want? I have my own suspicions why.
Right now for Harley owners, Harley-Davidson is recalling 126,000 motorcycles because of a clutch problem. The recall applies to 2014 touring bikes, and Harley says the clutch may not disengage and could cause a crash. The flaw is connected so far to 19 accidents.
Yeah, those recalls were expected to have cost Harley-Davidson $35 million. So I think that might have a little something else to do with it. After all, they've had multiple recalls related to the hydraulic clutch going back to 2016. Number 4, no mention of the future custom 1250 model. None. Nada. Nothing notable about the Pan America except for the plug for the February launch event, and the new CEO went on to say how he recently rode it in Kenya. If you've not seen my video about the latest Pan America rumors, you might want to check it out, especially if you're looking forward to learning more about the Pan America. Number 5. Can you say, Sport Glide, Sport Glide, Sport Glide? I have no idea why they skipped this, but it actually got an upgrade that I definitely feel is noteworthy. My girlfriend, Firecracker on 2 Wheels, got a chance to do a demo ride on this bike last year, and she really liked it. but it had kind of a dull saddlebag finish. This year, the detachable saddlebags are available painted to match, so now they blend in better with the looks and styling of the bike. For those of you that didn't realize it, they do offer a 5.5-inch windshield for the detachable mini Batwing fairing also. For riders looking for a cross between a touring model and a Softail, this bike is really starting to shape up. So let's get into what Harley did want to tell you about. They started with the new CVOs. So we had the same 4 models of CVOs. They get new paint and wheels, and TPMS, which is tire pressure monitoring system, is now integrated into the system. They have a new high-end audio system powered by Rockford Fosgate. The CVO is still powered by the 117V twin. They really wanted to promote this new audio system and spent several minutes trying to convince you how great it's going to be and how much you need this in your life. Secondly, they promoted the new touring specials. There are new color options for most of the bikes. That may not be huge news for some people. I really like some of the new options, including the new Snake Venom, which is a considerably higher cost. I'm not a fan of the Deadwood Green, but I did like the Crimson and Pearl two-tone for classic looking bikes like the Road King. The paint options are too much to get into detail on in this video, but you can find them all on the HD website now. Some models like the Heritage Classic, Road Glide Special, and Street Glide Specials and others now have paint options that include chrome or black engine finishes. Now you can't get every paint color with just either finish. For example, if you want a Road Glide Limited in Snake Venom, it's only listed with the chrome finish. The River Rock Gray is only listed with the black finish for that particular model. Third, they showed us the Street Bob 114. They treat it like a new model just because it got new paint and a 114 engine, which I find kind of insulting. I don't really know why, but it irritates me. Just because you put the latest engine in a model instead of leaving the older one in it, doesn't make it more noteworthy than the bikes like the Fat Boy that you already put a 114 in 3 years ago. You're just slowly giving bikes the 114 engine and treating it like it's a big reward, when in fact you should be sticking the 114 in all the bikes you can. Feels to me like a kid saying, hey, look at me, I finally cleaned my room. I know it's been a mess for 6 months and I should have done it sooner, but let's not talk about that and just be glad I got it done. Maybe I've been around too long to appreciate this strategy, but I think if you can fit a 114 in it, then do it. If you can't fit a 114 into it because it requires a frame change or something else like that, then explain it to people so they understand why you haven't got the 114s and everything yet. Okay, the next thing they promoted was riding gear and apparel. I'm not even going to go there. Then we went to the Fat Boy, where they bring in the heavy hitters, no other than Willie G's daughter and son. Now, I'm not a big nerd on the Fat Boy. This bike just isn't for me, so I'm not a Fat Boy expert by no means. But this segment just seemed like they were talking about how iconic and great the Fat Boy is. I did not see anything to justify several minutes just to tell us they were going back to brilliant chrome finish instead of satin chrome finish. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they made that change. I rode a CVO Street Glide last year that had some of that satin chrome on it, and I just didn't like the looks of it. My point here is, they could have just said, we made this change and moved on and had time to show us other changes in the lineup. Like I said before, the upgrades to the Sport Glide are just as noteworthy to me as the changes to the Fat Boy. But we spent 4.5 minutes on the Fat Boy and skipped the Sport Glide completely. Come on, Harley, you can do better than that. Okay, so leave me a comment and let me know if you were surprised or excited about anything you saw in the launch event. And if you didn't get to watch the full launch event, I'm going to have a link to it in the description down below. It is published on YouTube now. I was most excited about the price changes, or the lack thereof, and the engine finish options. I want to know, will you be tuning in for the Pan America launch? I know I will be. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel. And if you dig it, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Ring that bell to be notified the next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support. Stay safe and keep on riding.